shit. Get out of here, fucker. Whoop. Bloop. That's good enough. That's close enough to work for me. What a good day. Another good day. Another good day filled with fun content. I love days like this. I'm always tired at the end, like I am now. I always feel like I did my job today. I made hella people laugh today. I made a lot of money today. That's great. I did right by my family today. Brought home the bacon, as they say. And yeah, I'm doing good. I'm feeling good. I've got some sweet, sweet wedding cake indica right here. What'd it do? What'd it do, Zach? You're the first one tonight. Isn't that great? How was work? I was just talking about that. Work was really great today. We made a lot of money. We had a really good energy to the show. I laughed a lot, which means other people probably laughed along. It was good. I think people will tell you it was good, too. You spoil us. Nah, you guys spoil me, honestly. I think sometimes I get more out of this shit than you guys do. I wouldn't say it's like necessarily like therapeutic, but in a way I guess it is for me to have a sounding board for all my fucking crazy brain constant like blabber that goes on in my head. What up, buddy? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, I don't know, man. And more subscribers too. I mean, the list goes on, man. You know, things are looking like up and up for Paul's Ego right now, and the boys. The Kirks, Pessimist Productions, Paul's Ego. I gotta tell you guys, I'm excited about this year. 2024 is shaping up to be a watershed year for me. I'm gonna move. I don't want to get too crazy with it, but maybe Cinema for Cynics is back by the end of the year and fucking full swing. I just got a really good feeling about this year, man. I just feel like an energy, like a fucking like momentum building up behind this year that feels like it's going to be a really good one, man. I feel better as a content creator than I have in fucking years, bro. I'll tell you that much. Like, I feel like I'm really hitting on all cylinders. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw Phoebes. It made me think of you. You know, yesterday I was lamenting how I never see large insects. Dude, I saw a fucking grasshopper this morning on the first stream. I don't think you were in here because you didn't say shit. Grasshopper was like that. I'm not even shit. I got big hands. That's a big motherfucker. Had to be like a 5-inch fucking grasshopper. And I was like, well, first one I've seen in probably like 3 years out here. It was fucking huge. I was like, shit. And then I saw a dragonfly later today, like in between the shows. I saw a dragonfly dip through here, and I was like, well, that's good. I was like, man, Phoebes would be happy because I went over and you can go watch it, Phoebes. I went and like filmed him a little bit. I don't want to get too close though because I'm spooked at those fucking grasshoppers. If I were a Christian, I'd say God was telling you something. I know, dude. I had that thought in my head. I was like, fuck, bro. Is that just like a way, like I've always said, like, prove it, man? He's like, okay, you haven't seen large insects? Here's 3 in one day. It's like, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Ain't nothing gonna slow me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving. Yeah, I mean, there was that, and then obviously COVID, you know, there was that huge bounce back in like just kind of biodiversity when people were locked down, and then California's just gotten tons and tons of rain. The problem is though, Phoebes, is like, like Amelia showed me a story that said that like climatologists are predicting another dry winter for California as fears of a resurgent drought. And I was like, oh man, really? Because it's really been like 2 years, honestly, and it was 2 years of like not just decent rainfall, but like exceptional rainfall, filled all our reservoirs, and you know, scientists are saying we're looking at a dry winter, or at least in this area, meaning like, you know, less water, less fucking shit. It's like, ugh. Woof. I've noticed more bumblebees. Yeah, the bees are kind of fucking sad here. I haven't really noticed as many bees as I thought were going to be up in this tree here. And it's blooming now, man. It's really got like a lot of flower buds on it. And usually, like a couple of years ago, man, I remember that tree over there was humming. I don't see bees hardly at all this year, but I did see some big fucking bugs, so that is nice. The Trans-Midwestern Pipeline, still fucking pushing it. Gotta give you that. Great show tonight. Thanks, man. It was fucking cool. It was a good show, man. And like, not that it matters as much, but like the fact that we almost made double what we normally make for a goal on tonight's show just because the energy was popping, that was cool. That was nice, man. That makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing, keeping the energy up, or trying to at least while on the show. I feel like that fed a really nice feedback loop tonight. Nice. Positive feedback loop. We like those. We really do. We strive for those. Where I lived and live in Cali that last few years, tons of wasps. Yeah, I have seen a lot of wasps around. The yellow jackets. But like as far as like large insects, like plant eating insects or whatever, like fucking grasshoppers, locusts, big fat June bugs, and like beetles and the types of shit I used to see when I was a kid, bro, you never see that shit around here anymore. I guess maybe not quite never, but you never, like, in comparison. Yeah, big ass caterpillars, tomato worms. Like, I used to see shit all the time, bro. I haven't seen a caterpillar in fucking years, dude. I saw a monarch butterfly today, dude. This is the time that they're usually all over the fucking place. I saw one. Like, oh boy. Oh my God, you should see the tomato hormones we've been pulling. Or hornworms, yeah. Yeah, that's what we have out here too. Probably same species and everything, man. They're fat, bro. Yeah, I used to pick them off the tomatoes. My mom wanted me to throw them in a bucket and kill them. But I'd take them off the tomatoes and I'd go put them on some other plant out in the yard. I'd load them up. Go get them tomato worms, put them in a bucket. Yeah, big old green motherfuckers with like a horn, and like they're just bright as fuck and fat. Yeah, they're fat. Fat fuckers. Have you feed them to the chickens? Yeah, so that's what you wanted me to do, is put them in the bucket and dump them in the chickens. And I knew they were just gonna die, and I like the little guys. They're like so fat and cute, so I would just like take them and chuck them in a bush, you know, like, best of luck, little fellas. I buy those hornworms for my Australian water dragons and Argus monitor, and they're like $20 a dozen. That's a business. I mean, yeah, you ain't kidding, man. I used to pick easily, like in the summer, right around now. Dude, I'd be out in those fucking tomato plants, bro. I'd pick 20 of those easy off the plants, and then I'd be back the next day and there'd be 15 more, you know what I mean? Well, I didn't have the iguana at that time. This was prior to Iggy. I got Iggy when I was about 11 or 12. And this would have been like, you know, from birth to 7, 8, 9, that range. The Rangoon. You like crab Rangoon, Nuggy? I like crab Rangoon. It's pretty tasty. It's just fucking cream cheese and a fucking wonton wrapper. Deep fried. A little bit of crab meat in it. It's really good. I think you'd like it, Nugs. It's deep fried wonton with a little bit of cream cheese and crab meat. You dip it in like some fucking sweet and sour sauce. It's nice. Oh man, I have to go get my computer glasses. These aren't working. These are great for like generally walking around and stuff, but I can't read shit with these. Not at this distance. Actually, fuck me up. Like, these are good for like general purpose, like distance and mid distance, but like up close, I have to bring you guys all the way up here for this to look nice. I don't know. I might have to talk to my fucking eye doctor about these glasses because I feel like my computer glasses suit me better. Like not just like look wise. I don't care about that, but like they fucking help. Crab meat isn't all that good for real, Phoebes. You don't even know. Phoebes, you pulled through Pismo and didn't even go to the cracked crab. You don't even know, Phoebes. You don't even know. You go to the cracked crab in Pismo, they come and they bring a bucket and they dump it, and it's crab claws, crab legs, fucking potatoes, carrots. They just dump it in front of you and you just grab what you want, man. You got the mallet, crack that open. You got butter to dip your, dude, you don't even know. You don't even know, Phoebes. Best Rangoons on earth are at a Thai restaurant near my shop. I'll buy you some if you ever come get tatted. I'm thinking about trying to get out there to you because I don't want to fucking do something I don't trust. But I just don't fucking know, bro. I'm like hesitant about it for some reason because I'm afraid. You know what? I'm afraid. I'm a little bit of afraid. I'm a little afraid that like my skin is not going to take to it, even though I've got one. But like my eczema is worse now than it was when I was in my 20s. It's like a progressive disease, so I'm just worried that like my skin's gonna like puff up and react to the needle or whatever, and I'm not gonna be able to get it. It's just gonna suck, bro. I'm worried about that. Crab grilled cheese is the bomb. Yeah, it's pretty good. So, crab is great, dude. Crab is fun. People just don't know, man. People just don't fucking know, bro. Marge Simpson's voice actor died. Yeah, Marge Simpson died about fucking 25 years ago, so. Like, her zombie has been on the show, but. What about lobster? Dude, I love all shellfish pretty much. I'll eat a crawdad, I'll eat a lobster, I'll eat a fucking shrimp, I'll eat a clam, I'll eat a mussel, I'll eat a fucking scallop. You know, I'm fucking pretty agnostic to shellfish, bro. I'll just eat it all. I like it all. It all tastes pretty fucking good to me. Now, regular fish, that's different, man. I'm very picky about regular fish. I don't like pin bones. I don't like fucking fishy flavor. It wasn't even the actual voice actor. Oh, well, then fucking who cares? That show needed to die years ago. No shit, bro. It's sad because that show, when it like came out in the 80s, by the way, that show came out when I was still fucking like under the age of 10. Think about that. Let that bake your noodle. I'm 44. And that show like was like 3 or 4 seasons in by the time I was 8. Thought you didn't eat meat? I don't. Well, I don't eat red meat. I've been trying to tell people I'm a lacto-ovo pescatarian. That means I eat eggs, I drink dairy product or eat cheese and milk and stuff, and I will eat fish. I do not eat beef, I do not eat pork, I do not eat chicken or poultry of any kind. No red meat. Dude, it's completely and utterly beyond irrelevant. The Simpsons. Yeah, The Simpsons, dude. Nobody fucking watches The Simpsons anymore. It's garbage, dude. It's fucking unwatchable garbage. I just can't get over having to field dress and butcher meat on my plate. It skeeves me for some reason. Yeah, I can't do that shit either. I can't handle fucking certain types of meat at all. I can handle a steak. I can butcher a steak up, but like a chicken breast, fuck you. I don't want to touch that shit. test these glasses and see what's what, because they're not, I've been trying them for a few days, but every time I put them off, I just want to pull them off. Or put them on, I just want to pull them off again. And like these I can sit with and I'll actually forget I have them on. And like now I can read my fucking shit. It's like I know these are supposed to be for my computer stuff. So they're supposed to be better for like this level of reading. But why can't I do that in my day-to-days?
Do you see any visible deformities on them?
What do you mean?
On your other glasses that you say you're fucking
No,
with?
I've looked at them. They don't look like they did when he burned them.
Okay.
So I think they got new lenses. I'm just wondering if they just like fucked it up a little bit, or
Maybe it's just because it's been so long that you have to readjust to it again.
maybe. I just want to make sure, because like these feel good. What Sam Hill is going on here? A freak with a sock fantasy? Huh? Oh, is eating a grasshopper fundamentally different from eating a shrimp? Yep. One's disgusting and one's delicious. Something tells me the prescription is off on those glasses. I think you're right. Yeah, I think they might have fucking gave me the wrong, because like these, I'm only supposed to use these when I'm on the computer. Those are the ones I'm supposed to wear all fucking day. And every time I put them on, I feel like I'm struggling with them. Like they're only good for when it's daytime out here, because the sunglasses kick in. They got transitions or whatever, but like I'm only supposed to wear these when I'm in the hot lights at my computer desk. These are specially focal pointed for my computer, but they're way better than my fucking day-to-day glasses, so I don't know what the fuck happened. Well, that's why I'm not going to wear them no more. Till I call the fucking doctor and tell him, like, yeah, when I first got these, they felt great, but after the dude fucked them up and they had to redo my lenses, they feel like they're off or something. I don't know what to tell you. So, dude, it was so stupid, bro. I went in there to get my glasses, like, because the nose, I wanted him to fix the nose. He told me he could make the nose a little tighter, and they were slipping down a little bit. And so I just handed them to him, and he went back, and he brought them back, and he's like, try that. Put them on, they fit better, but everything was blurry. And I looked at him, and I was like, dude, what's all over the lenses? And he looked, and he was like, oh my God, bro. He used some heat gun on them, and he was supposed to pop the lenses out first, and he didn't. He burned the fucking IR coating on my lenses. So that's like a fucking $200 mistake. This dude was shitting bricks, and I was like, it's cool. Whatever, man. Shit happens. Just like, he was like, we'll replace them. So I just got them back like a few days ago, and I've been trying to wear them for like 3-4 days, and I just can't keep them on for like more than 10 minutes. It just feels like I'm struggling. I'm like, I feel like my distance vision is worse than them, which doesn't make any fucking sense. And like that makes sense in these, because these are focal, like mid-focals, but like, dude, I have great distance vision. I shouldn't be seeing blurs in my distance vision in my day-to-days. Like, I do this to see shit far away. That doesn't make no fucking sense. Voice sounds raspy. I've been talking a lot, bro. I've been talking a whole lot these last few days, bro. I've been jibber-jabbing. Yeah, I just had like a fucking 2-man show, too, and it was a long show. So I've been hitting the weed a lot, pretty hard too. Smoking J's like it's going out of style and shit. After I sleep tonight, it'll be better. But I woke up kind of raspy today. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it. Yeah, that RFK Jr. impersonation was wicked tonight. It was. People in the chat were like, dude, Paul's gonna shred his throat doing that. And I was like, you know what? They're right. I'm gonna stop. You and Scotty are a good hosts. Thank. Yeah, obviously I prefer all three of us to be there, but I love it when we break up into our 2-man dynamics, because it's always different, me and Scotty have a different energy without TJ, and me and TJ have a different energy without Scotty, and Scotty and TJ have a different energy without me. So it's always interesting and fun to switch it up. Yeah, me and Scotty always knock it out of the park, bro. We always hit it. Like, we always nail the fucking tone. That is true. Like, honestly, my favorite shows are mostly Scooter and Da Hog. It's not The Hog, it's Da Hog, right? Yeah. Any future guests for Onion Nuggets? I don't know, man. I can tell you nothing in the pipes right now. Sorry. I have been thinking, like, be nice to have Demon Mama back on, but I'm supposed to go on her show. I reached out to her like a couple weeks ago, and she said, "Oh yeah, I'll fucking figure out what day would be good, and I'll hit you up." And then she hasn't hit me up, so I think it's gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna have to either hit her up again and go, "Hey, still want me on the show?" or I'm just gonna have to like shrug my way out of it. If she really wanted me on the show, I feel like
you can always pop in while she's live.
I have a couple of times. She said hi to me.
Okay.
Like, I joined her little demonmama.gg or whatever so I could do the actual chat. She doesn't read her YouTube chat. Yeah, and I popped in there and said, "Hey," and she said, "Hey, Paul, blah, blah." She was arguing with me, but she didn't say anything about me coming on. I don't want to fucking push it. I know she's busy. She probably plans out her shows months at a time, I'd imagine. Don't we have Dylan Burns back on soon? Yeah, I mean, he probably would come back. It's been a while since we had him. Be interested to see, what his take is on how things are like doing and going in that region. I don't know if he's still there or if he's back in the States now. I really heard much about old Dylan. Do like the guy though. I hope he's okay. Whatever. Whatever the case may be, I hope he's all right. But yeah, it'd be cool to have him back on. As far as new guests though, like, I don't really know, man. I'm thinking I might enjoy talking to Destiny, but I think that would be something that just I enjoy, because I don't think Scotty or TJ even know much about the dude. I don't think they watched much of him, but I'm like a long time Destiny kind of like fan / hate watcher, I guess, depending on the day. I think he'd be a good guest, or I'd be a good guest on his show, or maybe our show. We could simul stream or something and do it. Question and answer session or an argument or whatever.
He's filming a drone documentary.
Who is Dylan?
Yeah.
Of like
Drones in Ukraine.
Oh.
War stuff.
Let's see. Like, what sort of parameters would they have to meet? What do you mean? Like, as far as a guest? I mean, as long as they're entertaining, I really don't care if they're huge. As long as they know how to, like, hold their own, and you think their dynamic would be good with us, then I think they'd probably be good on the show. But, like, I'm a horrible guy to ask about this, and this is no disrespect, but I don't watch other content creators like me. Like, I just don't. I watch a couple of streamers. They do nothing like what I do. Like video game streamer type people. I watch Kyle Kalinske for like political analysis stuff. I'll pop in every once in a while on BreadTube. I'll watch, like fucking Vosh or Demon Mama or something if it crosses my path. But like, the only show I've been like religiously watching lately is the Kino Casino, bro. Andy Worski and PPP, even though they're a couple of conservative fucking Christian idiots, like they're killing it. I can't hate. So I've been watching a lot of Kino Casino. That's the only real like vlogger / podcast type show that I give a fuck about right now. Like, it makes me laugh consistently, constantly. But I don't watch these other people, so I don't know who else to have. I guess, maybe go on the fucking Kino Casino. Have PPP and fucking Andy Worski on and butt heads. That might be fun. You should get Mr. Beast and attract all the skibbities. Oh my god, bro. Can you imagine the skibbity fucking influx that we'd have for a few
You ain't
weeks?
getting no Mr. Beast.
No, not a chance.
Unless you have an orphanage or something.
Yeah. Or unless one of us catches a rare disease that only one person has and he can cure it with money. The Boogie Sode. I mean, Boogie would probably come on, but I gotta be honest, I find Boogie to be painfully boring. Like him talking, I love ripping on Boogie, but I hate listening to Boogie drone on. So I don't know, man. I gotta disagree on the Boogie Sode. Yeah, like Boogie is a boring fucking content creator and guest. Like the only thing fun about Boogie is watching him fail and watching him not get it, you know, like, but if I had to sit and listen to him and be pseudo polite to him and let him talk and stuff, I'd go nuts.
And he's such a bullshitter too. Like when you watched his
Oh yeah,
financial audit or whatever.
you never get a straight fucking answer out of the guy. I don't even think he knows he's doing it half the time. He's just a bullshitter, like you said, full of shit. I found that, like, as I've gotten older, I do not suffer fools as well as I used to. I used to be the type of guy that like looked at it as a challenge when somebody was being purposefully obtuse and like trying to stymie a conversation because they felt like they were losing it. Now I just fucking tell them to fuck off. And I feel like Boogie and I would probably last about 10 minutes before I was yelling at the dude and telling him to go fuck his fat self. And that's what he wants. I really feel like, among other things, Boogie's got a humiliation fetish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way you make that documentary and show off your double fucking gunt unless you have something about you that, like, wants people to call you a fat, lazy, good-for-nothing piece of shit. Because it's, like, not just that. It's not just his physical body. It's, like, his attitude. Dude, and I feel like you look like Boogie. I mean, all right, bud. You can say what you want about me, bro. I can mow my lawn in fucking 10 minutes and not break a sweat. Boogie can't, you know, so I'm a fat guy, but I ain't that fucking fat. I don't like waddle, like, you know, like Boogie's fucking huge, bro. Boogie at least weighs 450 pounds. Like, dude, I weigh 320 something. Yeah, Boogie's easily 100 pounds over me. Dude, that lawn mowing shit was some of the most pathetic shit I've ever seen, bro. Homeboy had to take like 10 breaks to mow a strip of lawn like what I've got in my backyard here. Maybe a little bit more. It's like, dude, I would bust this out and my front lawn in 20 minutes and I'd be in time before I broke a sweat. I'd be inside fucking drinking lemonade before I broke a sweat. I just saw a commercial for the presidential debate, June 27th, 9 p.m. I didn't think they were going to do it. I still don't. Dude, they can announce it like all they want, but like the day, like June 27th comes and those two fucking old men walk onto the stage together, I will pay the dudes. I don't think it's happening. I don't think either one of these campaigns wants their fucking candidate up on that stage. I think they both lose. I think they both end up looking worse than they walked in there. I don't think any of them is going to convince anybody. I don't see why they would do it. You know? Like if one of them, like if I thought like, oh yeah, Trump's probably going to really pwn Biden. Like maybe 5 years ago, Trump could have really laid one on Biden. And he did, in fact, in 2020. I mean, you know, Biden didn't do horribly, but Trump looked better after those. I mean, Trump did at least a better job of making Biden stammer and stutter and get fucking pissed off and shit. But like now, like, I don't know if the Trump's even got the ability to put a fucking cogent sentence together. Like, you know what the problem is with you? You know what the problem is with you, Joe? Hurry up and do. You know, like, I don't know what's going to come out this motherfucker mouth. I don't know, you know, and nobody does. Like, there's a lot of MAGAs that want to cope their way through it and say, like, oh, Trump's going to decimate him. But it's like, Trump has got a big old poopy in his diaper. The motherfucker's sweaty. Dude, he might fall over. You know they're going to shoot these old grandpas up with stimulants. You know what happens to grandpas when they get shot up with stimulants sometimes, especially 80-year-olds? 80 plus? Bro. Bro. Well, these motherfuckers might drop dead in front of us if they go up there, and they know this. Talking about 90 minutes under the hot lights with no break, arguing. I don't think either one of these motherfuckers can do that. So, you know, like I said, man, I still feel pretty fucking confident this shit's not going down. I would look for Trump to cope first, like Trump to say like, you know, Biden wants to silence my mic. You know, that I did never agreed to that. Biden told me he's gonna silence my mic, folks. Silence my mic. Silence my mic. And we're not gonna let him do that, folks. We're not gonna let him do that. You know, that's my call. But it might be Biden because, like, I gotta tell you, like, his team doesn't want his old ass up there either. I forget what fucking year it is. He might call his fucking opponent like Mr. Nixon or something, you know, like he might forget where he is. He might shit his pants. He might have a fucking total mental breakdown or a stroke. Like, it's just the risk factor of them going up. Like, they have everything to lose and very little to gain from this. And so that's why I stick to it to this day until the fucking 27th and those two walk in the room, get on stage, fucking saddle up at the podium. I'm not believing it. Now, do I think it's possible that they do it? Yeah, I think it's possible. I just can't imagine being in the fucking war room and going like, yeah, let's put Biden out there for 90 minutes under the hot lights. Just give him a big old fucking shot of that stimulant. Or Trump, yeah, let's get Dumpy Pants out there. Make sure he does his own makeup so he looks extra orange and sweaty and fat and disgusting and like, you know, make sure his neck pussy looks really good. You know, like like, dude, they don't even want to shoot Trump in the light anymore. They're not gonna stand. Well, what are they gonna do? Like, sit in recliners? Lean, like sometimes they lean on a bar stool, but that's pretty much standing. Like, they can't sit in recliners. What are they gonna do? Dude, I would literally die. If we tune into it, I'm like, I can't believe this is happening, and then the stage comes up for the first time and it's two rocking chairs sitting there. I would be like, you guys would have to say bye-bye to Paul's ego, because I would have a stroke right there. I would die laughing. That would be the funniest fucking thing. And the shout-out shit is fucking rampant with these kids. Like, what are you gonna do with a shout-out from a nobody? Get out of here, bro. It'd be a contest of who has less of a memory lapse. And yeah, that's the thing, is like, that's why I say, like, very little to win, if anything, and everything to lose. Like, if one of them just has a total dribbling poop pants meltdown, and these are old men, man. Sometimes old men, you put them under stress, have a little fucking mini stroke, and all of a sudden you're screaming fuck you and puking on the stage and shit. That shit happens to old people. You telling me they're gonna risk that? These teams want to risk that happening prior to the election? Bro, I've seen these dudes. Dude, Biden can barely sit a 15-minute presser without embarrassing himself completely. Trump, he's been doing more talking and shit, but it's it's like, I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care all about you. I just want your votes. That's the truth, folks. Like, huh? Maybe they both have strokes and get shoved out at the convention. That's the thing, dude. Like, 90 minutes is a long time for an old man to be standing there. Dude, you know, like, you ever been on stage? A lot of people haven't, right? I'm a performer. I've been on hundreds of stage. I've spent hundreds of hours on stage in front of an audience, okay? Your heart goes a mile a minute, bro. Your blood pressure is through the fucking roof. Now, as an actor, you harness that nervous energy into performance, right? But also, like, we're talking about 80-year-old men. Talking about octogenarians, men that are over the age of 80. In Trump's case, he's 79. Biden's case, he's like 82. No audience, right? Which is like, that I guess reduces a little of the stress. But I mean, the hot lights are on them. They know the fucking world is watching. And I'm telling you guys, if this does go down, this is going to be the biggest fucking debate in years, bro. People are just fucking curious at the train wreck. And they have to know this. They can't be so detached that they don't know that people aren't interested in seeing this happen because they want to hear what these old jack-offs have to say. We know what they have to say. We've heard it a million times. They want to see if somebody falls over, shits their pants, pukes on stage, passes out for a minute, swoons, has a senior moment and threatens to fuck somebody's wife. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. That's the only reason anybody wants to watch it. That's the only reason anybody wants to watch it, is to see if they can fucking even do it. Like, what they say is secondary to, like, how they look. Are they going to make it? How do they sound? Like, are they able to be, you understand them? Like, they're not going to be listening for that. They're not going to be listening for what these guys say. That's not why they're coming. They're coming to see the fucking train wreck. And it's like both of these teams know it, and I guess the only assumption I can make is like they both think it's the other team that's going to be the train wreck. Like Trump is betting that Biden's going to have a senior moment and talk about some fucking world leader that's been dead for 100 years, and Biden's thinking that fucking Trump is going to have an aripi-doo-ah moment or some shit. Bro, I'm lost. And I think at best, both of these motherfuckers come out looking older and stupider at the end. Like, there's no winner, and the American people are even more worried about the age of their candidates after this. At worst, Biden could flub up so bad that he has to step down. Like, the DNC just goes like, all right, dude, he fucking said fuck your mother or something on the stage to Trump. Like, he's lost it. We can't gaslight anymore. We've got to replace him. Like, that's at worst. At worst, or like at very worst, he fucking just croaks on stage or has a stroke or shits his pants and it comes running down his leg and there's like video of it. Right? And the same thing goes for Trump, man. Best case scenario, he comes out looking worse than he goes in. Sweatier, fatter, lumpier, dumber than everybody remembers. Lost about 10 steps. Right? Fucking makes no sense now. He made very little sense in 2020. Makes no sense now. Right? And like the worst case scenario is he shits the bed. He fucking tells some outlandish lie that even MAGA can't cope with. Or, shits his pants. Like, once again, both of these guys could shit their pants. Have a fucking stroke. These we're talking about 80-year-old men in one of the most stressful positions you can imagine, right? Trying to be the president in front of millions of people under the hot lights for 90 minutes, knowing that their fucking future is on the line. Like, that sounds like prime time for a fucking stroke. And blood pressure's fucking doubled what it would normally be. They're pumping these motherfuckers up on stimulants to stop the senior moments from happening as often. He's got stimulant heart, doubling down on the fucking nervousness, sweat, hot lights. Bro, that's why I'm saying to this day, this ain't happening. I feel like it's a Mexican standoff right now. Both of them are waiting for the other camp to pull the trigger, but both of them probably have a drop dead date. Probably said, all right, dude, if the 25th comes around and fucking Trump hasn't quit yet, we got to use plan B. You know, we got to use the Biden excuse. Trump is a felon now, and it would be a waste of America's time to fucking put a felon on TV. Some shit like that, where he saves face with the libs, but nobody else. No, I think they will. I don't think either one of these guys is ultimately in control of these campaigns anymore. They're too fucking far gone. So like they're cool. They're like younger people looking at this, going like, "What's the fucking over under on our fucking candidate stroking out? Like, are we really gonna shoot him full of fucking Vyvanse again and send him out? Like, what's the over under? This motherfucker just falls over or shits his pants. Like, we have to come up with a fucking excuse. Both of these camps are doing that right now, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Both of those camps are having that fucking meeting right now. How long do we wait for Trump to pull the cork on this? Because we want him to look bad. We know he doesn't want to stand on the stage. So how long do we wait? 23rd, 24th, 25th? Right? Before we fucking do plan B and we figure out a way to try and make him look bad, but we pull the cork. And the Trump campaign's doing the same. Dude, look, I know Trump wants to do this, but how long do we wait for Biden to back down? Because he can't do this. Like, we can't give him another fucking dose of Vyvanse like the last time. It was almost killed him. Like, you know, that conversation is happening right now. So I stand on business, man. I think I'm getting $200, but I'm willing to fucking take the risk. I'll vote for Biden's diaper. Yeah, Peepaw Poopy Pants or Peepaw Poopy Pants. Which one will you choose? Yeah, I mean, I understand that. I'm still voting for Jill Stein. She's the only candidate that's gone to jail for justice. She's the only candidate on the ballot that, you know, I think even backs half the shit that she says. She also has, and I know this is crazy, she has a policy page on her website. If you go to jillstein.com, it'll tell you all the things she wants to do. Biden doesn't have that. People don't know that. You guys can fact check me. Go to joebiden.com and see if you can find the Joe Biden policy page. What's Joe Biden promising to do if we give him another term? You won't find it, by the way. You can go check me, but you won't find anything. He doesn't have one. It doesn't matter anymore. The entirety of Joe Biden's campaign is orange man bad. Not good. Peepaw crazy. Peepaw lost, but orange man more crazy. Hopefully. Yep, I'm voting for Jill. She went to jail for justice. That makes her a friend of mine. She's on the ballot. I'm in California anyway. This is going to Joe. My state's going to Joe, whether I fucking live, die, or grow mushrooms in my crack. So I'm going to vote for Jill. Protest vote. Well, dementia is insanity. It's a form of insanity. People with dementia, they lose time, they can be aggressive, they have wild mood swings and personality changes. Their habits can change, their grooming habits can slip. And there's a number of fucking things that are obvious fucking signs of dementia, and none of them are good. So dementia is going insane. It's losing your mind. They're both demented. They're both losing their minds. And like we're being gaslit by both sides, telling us that like we got to vote for one of these fucking old men that have lost their minds. Their minds are gone. Like Biden forgets what year it is. He talks about his Senate campaign. He forgets like that his son is dead, live on stage. He shit his pants in front of the Pope. I mean, he's getting worse every time we see him. He's fallen down like 5 times during his presidency. He's toppled over. Trump, same shit. fat, sweaty. His grooming standards have dropped. His makeup looks worse than ever. He's pale, sweaty, sweaty, sweaty. He's fucking like talking gibberish. Motherfucker just said a reapy doo ah during the middle of a speech like 3 months ago, bro. A reapy doo ah? And everybody's like, I don't know what that was. What did he say? He doesn't ever correct it. He just lets it hang there. It's like, bro. When Trump's guilty of what was it, 34 felonies? To be the first president in history that's a felon. Who cares? I do. I care. I care that the country I live in is going to be run by a fucking crippled old man. You elect a president for their cabinet? Yeah, what kind of cabinet do you think an old man that thinks it's 1971 is going to pick? Biden's cabinet has been a nightmare. Pete Buttigieg is transportation secretary, and look what happened in East Palestine. Look how they handled it. East Palestine, Ohio, not Palestine. They're handling that horribly too. What do you mean you're electing their cabinet? Joe Biden's cabinet is a fucking nightmare. The current cabinet is not fine. Pete Buttigieg left the people of East Palestine, Ohio out to dry. They didn't handle it fine. And they haven't handled it at all. There have been how many fucking railway decouplings? Pete Buttigieg is in charge of safety. Why is there spills all over the country? Why are fucking train accidents up 90% in the last 10 years? Like, you're coping so fucking hard, bro. And that's just that. Who's the Secretary of Education right now? Why did we graduate more illiterate children from high school than we did the year before? Crush the rail strike. Secretary of Labor. Like, come on, dude. His fucking cabinet is a bunch of corporate whores. Shit stains. I'm not retarded, bro. I don't know if you talk to people that are dumb a lot, or like people that are like, have social problems maybe. But dude, I won't be gaslit. I know what I know. Like, it's this last 4 years, I remember. Who's the Secretary of the Interior? You know? Like, what the fuck's going on in Flint? Still no clean water in Flint over 10 years later? You know? Why is there a fucking bridge collapse every other day here in America? Why are fucking roads falling apart? See what I mean? He hasn't done shit. And his cabinet hasn't done shit but cash fat checks. So, turns out that a major new study recently found that humans eat more bananas than monkeys. You're banned. What are you doing with your wife this election, Paul? Will your wife... with your vote. I'm voting for Jill Stein. Sorry, I couldn't read what you were saying. Damaged cortex. Yeah, damaged cortex is going to get banned if I see one more stupid thing come out of his mouth. One more unqualified statement with the smug Wojak face next to it. Motherfucker done. Next thing that comes out of your mouth better be fucking smart, funny, or both. Because otherwise, your ass is fucking done. I'm sick of reading your dumb fucking shit, bro. I just got done telling you like 20 minutes ago that I don't suffer fools anywhere near as much as I used to. And you're wasting the fuck out of my time, bro. So say what you say next. With more Dunning-Kruger, bro. You're absolutely right, Zach. And I'm done. It's the last time you're gonna smug post without answering a fucking thing I've said to you. So 30 seconds. 20. 10. Somebody nuke him. Bye. Yeah, like damaged cortex is fucking right, bro. I think homeboy got dropped when he was a baby. Little too stupid for me. Like, you ain't gotta be a genius to talk to me, but fuck, man. I have to meet a fucking minimum standard. That's way too skibbity. All the half-wits think they're the next Tesla, and all the reasonably intelligent people think they're probably dumb fucks. Yeah, that's what Dunning-Kruger means. The stupider you are, the higher estimation you have of your own intelligence versus everybody else's. That's Dunning-Kruger. And there's an inverse correlation with intelligent people. The more intelligent you are, the greater the chance that you lowball your intelligence. So the dumbest among us think they're the smartest, and the smartest among us think they're the dumbest. The chat shall be trained. Oh, it is being trained, Nuggy. You're doing a great job. You have to admit, it's crazy, but these chats are better this last couple of times. Slowly but surely, we're training the zoo, right? The zoo is being trained. These people, look, dude, I just see an ocean of complete sentences and punctuation, and it's beautiful. Isn't it beautiful, Nugs? See what we've made? It's like we worked really hard. We planted a garden, and look, now it's blooming. There's question marks. There's periods. You listen to any political podcasts? No, not really. I listen to secular talk, like Kyle Kalinske. I'll listen to like singular video, like topical videos that people put up sometimes, but no. I watch Kyle pretty much every day, maybe every other day. Like, puts out a new video or two, I'll watch them both. He's like definitely the only dude that does politics that I check anywhere near once a day or once a week even. You know what's happening, Nugs, is like the people that make ultimate like alts are starting to get tired of like spending the time it takes to make an alt, even though it's quick here on YouTube, which is retarded. And literally like not even getting noticed. And so they've like half of them have stopped coming. And so now we're just dealing with normal scroll through skibbity. I think we've shed like half or more of the multi-alt crew just with the heavy-handed bands. Yeah, so they make a whole ass thing, and then I never even read it, because most of the time you guys get to it before I even fucking see it. It's like, that's got to be like disheartening, so they've just stopped coming. It's beautiful. Drop a hot take. Okay, fudge is actually kind of gross. There, I said it. Fudge is basically just like butter with chocolate in it. It's just chocolate butter. And I can barely eat a nibble of it without feeling like I just ate a stick of butter. It's too dense. It's too rich. And I skip it every fucking holiday. I don't like the texture. It's just butter. It's just literal like animal fat with chocolate. It's gross. I pass on it whenever there's like the cookie tray for the holidays out. I'll eat anything but the fudge. Fudge is gross, bro. It's disgusting. Like, and you know, you'll go to like a place that does fudge. They want to give you a square of fudge that looks like that with a bunch of icing on it. It's like, motherfucker, I won't be able to eat a bite of that. Whew. Man, look at the salty fucking fudgies, dude. Way too sweet. Way too rich and dense and fatty. Like, fudge is dog shit. What a god awful review of fudge. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just what it is. I've had fudge all over this world. I probably turned down more fudge than you've eaten, Phoebes. I got fucking 22 plus years of fudge eating on you. And you want to tell me about fudge? Fudge is gross. It's the last thing you pick up off the fucking Christmas tray is the fudge. You know what happens, dude? Somebody makes a Christmas, like everybody's all like, oh, fudge is dank. Dude, everybody makes a cookie tray, right? And there's fudge, and there's Christmas cookies, and there's Mexican wedding cookies, right? The little, you know what I'm talking about, the Christmas staples. By the end of that party, what's left? 3 pieces of sad fudge and a dream, okay? So you fudgies even admit with your very mouths and your proclivities that you don't like the fudge, okay? But everybody gaslights everybody during the holidays and goes like, ooh, it's fudge season. Fuck fudge.
I will say that one guy in my high school used fudge to attract the ladies successfully.
Look, dude, yeah, that's fine. Props to him. But I don't want it. He wouldn't have attracted this lady.
Worked at a fudgery.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's going to help, right? And look, I know broads like fudge. I don't know why you dames like fudge, but I'm just putting you up on game. It's like somebody took a stick of butter and put some chocolate powder in it, stirred it up, and solidified it in the freezer and handed it to you all hard. It's like eating straight animal fat chocolate. It's too rich to eat. Like that's why do you think it comes in squares like that on the tray? You never get, unless you go to one of these fucking like new Vegas fudgeries and shit, where they try and fucking like, oh yeah, it's $29.99, but you get a piece of fudge like that. You're never gonna eat that. Nobody's that fucking retarded to eat that. It's like fucking like, that's like 20 people worth of fudge. You kidding me? You're gonna buy that with the icing on the top of it. That's fucking, yeah, you would buy it. And you know what? About 90% of it would hit the trash. You'd walk around on the strip with that fucking fudge melting in your hand. You'd take 3 bites of it and the rest of it would go in the can. Well, that was worth it. This fudge is shit. Everybody craves it until they've got it. Fudge is shit. Right in the trash, Phoebes. Right in the trash. All you fudgies. Right in the trash.
Yeah, I was looking up recipes for it once because I was thinking about doing something different than my staple, one of the holiday get-togethers.
Yeah.
Some people make it with Velveeta.
Oh yeah. Dude, fudge is fucking weird, bro. Fudge has got all kinds of crazy shit. People be putting cheese in the fudge. It's like, get out of here with the fudge. And dude, you know, don't argue with me. Argue with your Christmas plate these holidays coming up, dude.
You keep an eye.
Yeah, keep an eyeball. Tell me I'm wrong. At the end of that Christmas family get-together, that cookie plate is going to have 2 sad pieces of fudge on it. And nobody's going to want to touch them fudges. All the Mexican wedding cookies, gone. All the little fucking shortbread cookies with a teardrop of chocolate in the middle, gone. All the little fucking cookies with a little jam in the middle, gone. Right? Peanut brittle. Some people get peanut brittle around Christmas on the plate, gone. Might be a stray peanut that fell out of the peanut brittle. 2 pieces of sad fudge. So argue with the plate, bro. Don't argue with me. Argue with your fucking Christmas plate.
I'll tell you what.
I want a report from every one of you this Christmas. And I want honesty. In fact, send me the pictures on Discord or Twitter this Christmas. Prove to me that everybody ate every piece of fudge, because you're full of shit. Sorry, you were saying, baby?
Oh, if y'all want to impress your families on Thanksgiving, I can't recommend possum pie enough.
Oh, possum pie's the shit.
That fucking,
And it's easy.
Easter thing, and it was gone.
It's easy. It's a graham cracker crust, a pudding thing with fucking pralines on it.
It's it's like a cheesecake layer
Yep.
and a fucking pudding layer and some fucking whipped cream and pecans on top.
Yep.
It's the easiest fucking thing. People fucking love it.
Yep. It's a crowd pleaser. There's never any left. I'll go buy and eat fudge tomorrow and record it and post it on TJ's Discord. All right. I mean, that doesn't prove anything other than that you're salty enough to go force feed yourself fudge when you wouldn't have gotten fudge tomorrow unless I mentioned it. Like, you're not like the dude, Phoebes, you're a liar if you tell me that you fucking go like, I'm gonna have fudge today unless it's Christmas. So go get you a piece of fudge and eat it if it makes you feel better, but it ain't gonna make me feel better. Fudge still gonna be gross. Overrated. The worst Christmas snack. Fudge. Is there a worse one?
I'm not a fan of the peanut butter you mentioned. I don't like it.
I'd rather have peanut brittle than fudge, but I agree. You know, keep your peanut brittle too. It's pretty fucking sweet and just like gets stuck in your teeth. I like the little Mexican wedding cookies with the powder on them. The powdered.
That one I'm not as big of a fan of either.
They're dry.
Yeah.
But if you're having it with an eggnog, they're good. Get a little eggnog, get a little Mexican wedding. They do last longer than the other cookies. Like, if I'm going through a typical Christmas tray, here's how it disappears. The chocolate drop cookies go first. The little shortbreads with the fucking Hershey Kiss in the middle, first.
You had Buckeyes?
No.
So that's like a very similar cookie, but it's like a big round thing rather than a big chocolate chip.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it might be the same thing, basically. Those go first, right? Then the fucking, what else is on there? So you got chocolate drop cookies, you got peanut brittle, you got fudge, you got Mexican wedding cookies. Is there anything? Oh, just sugar cookies.
Yeah.
Like with the little Christmas decorations, right? Those go second. The sugar cookies are gone. So now you got no chocolate drops and you got no sugar cookies. So now you got, what do you got now? Peanut brittle.
Jam cookies.
Oh yeah, those go next. You're right. The jam cookies, nobody really likes those the best, but those go next. The little blob of dry jam in the middle. Then people start working on the peanut brittle. And that's when you know that things have gotten dire. People are starting to grab the brittle. It's down to the nit and the grit. Possum. See him? Yeah, I know. He just passed through. He was a big fucking possum. It's the size of cricket. It's crazy. Anyway. Now it's getting dire though, because you're down to the like crumbs of peanut brittle and the Mexican wedding cookies and the fudge. The wedding cookies go last. People go in, they're dry as fuck, but they're all right with some eggnog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they're gone. Then people start in on the fudge. And this is where the regret starts at the party, because you've already had a couple Mexican weddings, you've already had a fucking teardrop cookie. You probably don't need no more sugar, but here's the fudge. And what you do is you go like, damn, fudge is good. I love Christmas. And you take that first bite and you're like, dude, that's fucking, oh, it coated my mouth, man. That's fucking actually not great. I'm gonna like sneak this over to the trash and throw it away in a napkin. Now there's 2 fudges left. Nobody else is dumb enough to take them. Merry Christmas. Christmas party's over. You can look it up. Why are you? I hate when people like use me like Google. Like, aren't you on your phone? Just type in Mexican wedding cookie instead of in the chat. Type it in Google and you'll see a picture of it. The fudge is dog shit. Dog shit. If they had nuts in the fudge too, like walnuts, walnut fudge is the dog shittest dog shit.
Oh shit, we got a poll. The most and least popular Christmas cookies.
Oh shit.
So let's do the ranking.
I don't know if they count fudge as a cookie though.
Let's see.
If fudge is high on that list, it's cope.
Yeah, fudge is not on here.
Yeah, it's not even on the list because people forgot it exists at Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a cookie. You grab it with your fingers, you eat it with milk. It's a cookie.
Wait, no, it is. Fuck.
Where's
It's
it at?
contentious. Number 3.
Ugh. Yeah, see, that's fudge cope.
Yeah, so the rankings are 78% for chocolate chip, 64% for sugar cookies, 63% for fudge, 61% for cookies.
Yeah, these are all.
Cookies.
Yeah, these are all fudge copes, dude. That nobody's eating that fudge. Then why don't they eat the fudge? Then why don't they eat the fudge?
You know what the last one is?
What?
A nice cookies.
Oh, those star cookies. Yeah, those are really gross.
Thumbprint cookies are ranked pretty low too. That's the jam ones.
Yeah, I like those. The peanut butter thumbprint cookies are pretty good. Sometimes you'll get those. Usually,
Italian Christmas cookies are on here.
I haven't had those. Or maybe I have, but I don't remember what they were. They're just like balls, like actual, like full round balls. Because I have had those, if that's the case.
Fair enough.
I
There's
kind
a
of
lot
fuck with
fudge.
fruitcake. Bro, you're broken. Fruitcake is gross. What?
I think people like fudge because it's the easiest one to make, and therefore they cope about it because they made it.
Yeah, maybe, but like, why don't they eat it then?
Because they want to feel like that they made something impressive.
Yeah, but like, let's say you did that.
Yeah.
Every Christmas, you bring Amelia's fudge. And every Christmas, somebody takes one bite of it and the rest of it just goes home with you. And now it's like 6 Christmases deep. Are you still going to make the fudge? Are you still going to cope and waste the
Maybe
fudge?
you have a family that just sucks at baking and the fudge is all you got.
Yeah, but maybe, I guess. Maybe. That's kind of sad, though.
Yeah, there might just be a lot of sad families out there where fudge is the best thing on the table.
You ain't got no
Everything else
Mexican
is-
weddings.
Everything else is store-bought or poorly made.
You ain't got no peanut butter thumbprints. You ain't got no Star Annies. You ain't got no fucking Christmas sugar cookies with the Christmas tree decorations on them. You got fudge. And fudge is gross. Some people will cope till the end of time. I know, dude.
I think it's the easiest one to make out of all of these.
Yeah.
Because you just gotta fucking mix it together and chill it.
And it's better, like, I've had fudges that I was like, okay, they did something with this. More like a candy bar. Like,
Yeah.
I had like a s'mores fudge. It was like chocolate and marshmallow and caramel or whatever the fuck. That was great. Like where graham cracker mixed in or whatever. But like the straight up Christmas fudge that everybody's coping about, saying it's their favorite fucking thing. Bro, I swear to God, that Christmas plate is going to be fudged out. I want to see them Christmas pictures. I'm not even joking. I want to see that before and after of that Christmas cookie plate. Tell me what got ate. That fudge is, that fudge is going to be there at the end. It's going to be fudge and nothing else, bro. Trust me, every year it's the same.
And like meringue cookies are ranked pretty low, but I think that's because a lot of people don't know how to fucking make them because they're hard as fuck to make.
Yeah, meringue cookies are like, if you fuck them up, they're bad.
Yeah.
Like they're burnt and like kind of like dry and soggy at the same time. Like they're not good. But if you do them right, they're fucking great.
Yeah. But it's ranked low because I think a lot of people fuck it up.
Yeah.
Fudge is the hardest thing to fuck up. That's what people think.
Well, maybe you're right. But it's just like fruitcake. It's like another one of those Christmas traditions. It literally nobody likes it, but everybody copes about it. Like there's a whole like companies that probably exist just to make fruitcake for Christmas once a year. And then they just close up shop until like fucking November next year and they start banging out fruitcake. It's fucking crazy, bro. You know what I'm starting to feel the same way about? Like cards, Hallmark cards and shit. Like what a weird thing. Just write me a note or like tell me you love, call me on the phone. Like why pay I guess it's cute like maybe on Valentine's or something, but that's different. Like you got to get a card for somebody for St. Patty's Day, for their birthday, for fucking Martin Luther King Day, for fucking like, you know, you spend $5.99 a card. It's crazy.
Oh, here's some more fudge controversy.
Oh shit.
So while fudge is ranked third nationally.
Yeah.
The West, it's all the way down to 55% compared to the 60-something percent.
So we're talking about like out California way.
Yeah.
So we know better.
Yeah.
Out here in California, we know better. Like back there in the fucking butter churning Midwest and the fucking backwards East and the dirty South, right? They're like, fudge. They're coping about it. But out here in California, we're figuring it out. Okay, that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah, the West is a lot. It stands apart on most things, except for fucking sugar cookies and chocolate chip cookies.
Nuggie.
Past that,
Nuggie, I only do it once or twice. She said eggnog is good, but it's so rich you can only have a little bit. I only do it once or twice per Christmas, but about twice per Christmas, I will have a glass like this of eggnog. And I'll drink the whole fucking thing at once.
I got you drunk on eggnog.
Yeah.
That was the first time you were drunk post-drinking contest.
Yeah, because, well, it was around Christmas. We'd had some whiskey eggnog, and I was like all laid up. Wasn't I in pain with my
your
back?
was fucked up or
Yeah.
something.
I was all laid up and in pain, and you got me all fucking drunk.
Passed out on the beanbag.
Yeah, with or without bourbon, it doesn't matter. Dude, eggnog is like milk from the nipple of Aphrodite. Like straight from it, man. It's just like fucking God himself touched your tongue.
We had eggnog after our wedding. We got married in December.
Exactly. We did.
We didn't have champagne, we had eggnog.
Yeah, we had nog. We sealed it with some nog. Eggnog is literally liquid cake. Yeah, and I don't drink alcohol, so maybe that's why I don't like it. Oh, dude, nog is... I usually don't put alcohol in my nog.
Yeah, you can get a carton of...
Yeah, I usually just drink straight nog. But people add a little bourbon shot to it, and you can barely taste the bourbon. But yeah, if you don't like... I usually don't.
But yeah, they do sell alcohol pre-mixed into eggnog, which tends to work a little bit better than mixing it yourself in the carton.
Does it?
Yeah. I feel like if you make homemade eggnog, then that would probably be the best way to incorporate alcohol, but trying to mix it into the hyper-pasteurized stuff doesn't work as well. Yeah. I'm gonna make you tea or something for your throat. You sound a little...
Yeah, people were saying I sound a little hoarse today.
Wanna try some tea?
Yeah, some hot tea might be nice to like. Oof. Now go, Andy. There you go, buddy. Woo! That was the winner right there, guys. Winner, chicken dinner. God damn. That fucking stretching is something else. Love getting drunk and I love getting high. My problem is, however, that I do not get a chance to do it too often due to a busy life. Yeah. Well, it's good that you're prioritizing your life over that. Because some people go the other way around. It gets pretty nasty, you know, or it can very easily spin out of control. I'm gonna make me some eggnog next week. No one can stop me. Cool. I might be losing my voice. Ugh. I can always tell I have a particular sound to my voice when I'm starting to lose it, and this feels like it. It's like this is more than just like rasp. This is I think I might have blown out my vocal cords. Not blown them out, but like strained them. And you know, smoking like a fucking freight train on top of them doesn't help either. But hey, tomorrow's my day off. I don't think I'm gonna stream at all tomorrow. Like tomorrow is gonna be like, I'd hang out with my homeboy Zeke, depending. I take Amelia out to dinner and a movie tomorrow night. I think we're gonna see Furiosa, and I think it's just gonna be like no streams. Cause yeah, man, I can't blow my fucking whole voice out. I think that's the plan for tomorrow. You know, I've been really enjoying doing these every day, but I think I gotta take at least 1, maybe 2 days to like let shit fucking chill. And then look, I think it's another week. What is today? Can somebody tell me the date? It's like the 18th. So today's Tuesday, 18th, Wednesday the 19th, Thursday the 20th, Friday the 21st, Saturday the 22nd, Sunday the 23rd, Monday the 24th. Yeah, so like this upcoming week, we have 2 more weeks. Basically, or no, we have this the rest of this week, and then we have next week. And next week is capped off with a big show, the TJ Gauntlet, and then we will take a week off. And that is going to be really nice. I've got shit to do on the week off, but it's going to be nice. And it's shit I need to do anyway, so it's cool. Well, I mean, I'm not going anywhere right now, but yeah, tomorrow I think I'm gonna fucking chill back because I can feel it happening, man. It's actually funny when I strain my voice out. You guys can find some old, there's some old ass fucking DP episodes where I had just come from Texas to Bellevue to Washington, and I was like fucking like freak. I was hitting it hard like I am now, but like I wasn't used to it yet. So I was like doing the show 3 times a week or 4 times a week, or it might have been 5 times a week at that point. I know the DP used to be like every weekday, and then we did 3 days a week for a while. I can't remember what we were doing, but like I was hitting the show hard and then doing a bunch of fucking Periscope streams from the back porch and just smoking weed and fucking going crazy. And it's just like one day I woke up and I sounded like a fucking bookie from New York or something. Like you can find this, and it's fucking crazy. It doesn't even sound like me because my vocal cords were just blown. And so what happens is like I have a deep baritone voice, but like my speaking voice is pretty medium tone. And like what happens is like it all goes down into this register right here. Listen to me, motherfucker. Put cash on the barrelhead. Like that felt good to do right now. If I started talking like that, it would actually feel better than like the kind of dry, scratchy throat that I have right now. It's like, whoa, dude. And like I can access that voice. It's one of the voices I do. I get down in that lower register and let it rumble in my fucking throat. But like, that's how I'll talk if I let my fucking cords go all the way out, bro. I've done it like 5 or 6 times. I've blown my fucking vocal cords out. It's like a performer thing. But I also don't take very good care of my fucking vocal cords either. Your DP days, your voice was strained due to your awesome rants against dumb people. It was fun. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, and for other reasons. It was also in like a relationship that was, I mean, we loved each other, but we yelled at each other a lot. And there's that. And I yell at fucking work all day and yada, yada, yada. I had deep southern drawl when I smoked cigarettes, but I quit in 2011. Oh, yeah. Good for you, buddy. I have thought of voice acting, yeah. I think I'd find a lot of fun in it, but it's like one of those jobs, like, good luck breaking into that shit. Like, it's basically like wanting to be an actor now. Like, what do you want to do? I want to be in movies. Good luck. It's kind of that way. Like, maybe but I've never really pursued it. So I am kind of like trying to talk myself out of something I've never really tried. The truth of the matter is I just love what I do already. I get to talk, I get to do voices, I get to do characters and stuff. And I already work for myself, so it's not like something I need. I have that creative outlet, but it would be cool. I wouldn't turn down some voice acting work and shit. And where do you even start? I mean, yeah, I know where you start. I mean, you have to make yourself a reel. You have to do some really good voices and do a little performance. Make yourself like a fucking demo reel, and then there are trade papers and trade websites that'll let you know, like, hey, looking for voice actors for this. Looking here, they'll tell you what it pays. You send them your reel, and if they like you, they call you. You do a fucking live audition for them, and if they want to use you, they fucking fly you out and they use you. That's how you get it, right? You get 5 or 6 of those under your belt. Now you got a better resume. People are more likely to choose you over this guy or that guy, right? I mean, it's not impossible to do. It just takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication, a lot of training. I've got a lot of the training under my belt already, but not all of it. I'd need to fucking do more vocal work, and I'd have to fucking definitely quit smoking, which I can do that too. But yeah, I mean, most people just don't have the base of, like, that's where I have a leg up on some people. Maybe is like, I've been training, like, vocal training, not like solid, but I've been training vocal training since I was like 14. I was in chamber choir, and I work a job where I talk all fucking day, literally all day sometimes, like 12 hours a day. My voice is pretty tight. You gotta work for that, You have that voice for late night radio. Hey everybody. It's Paul Zigo here with that late night smooth jazz. It's cold out here tonight, but that's all right because the darkness envelops me like a blanket. Speaking of blankets, let this blues classic envelop you like a blanket on this cold night. I love jazz, yeah. I'm a huge jazz guy. I'm a huge music guy in general. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing pretty deliberate, like I said, not solid. I haven't worked in fucking performance my whole life, but I've been doing pretty deliberate vocal training for almost 30 years, maybe more than 30 years now. Speaking of radio, do you remember the Phil Hendry? The name sounds familiar, but no, I can't place him. Just tuning in. Love you, Paul. Thanks, Alice. Yo, you did choir, tight as fuck. I was an upper tenor. Feel lucky and in vocal pain for that one. Yeah, I mean, that was, you must have had fucking a set of pipes, dude. I was a baritone. I sang with the baritone section most of the times, but I could hit bari tenor. Like, I kind of switched in and out when they needed it. Turn your volume up? You turn your volume up, fool. What are you talking about? No, I don't play any instruments. Oh, thank you, baby. Appreciate some tea. Ooh, that looks like the berry tea, too. This is my favorite tea. Like herbal berry tea.
It's been a hot minute since you let me give you some tea.
It's been a hot minute since my voice felt this scratchy, so.
I think it's probably because we're being surrounded by like a dozen fires right now.
Oh yeah, the fucking, that plays a role. Our air quality is dog shit.
I think the closest one is like 20 miles from us or some shit.
Yeah, it's a fucking retarded. Our sky is filled with smoke. I've been screaming my head off like a fucking crazy person for 6 weeks straight. It's like a matter of time before I needed to take a couple days to rest up that voice. Because I can feel it. It's going. There's nothing I can do to stop it now. It's just,
Tomorrow you're gonna be a little whispery, you think?
Yeah, oh yeah. But that's fine. We're still going to go see fucking Furiosa and hang out with Zeke if he wants to. I'm hoping that, like, if I chill a little bit on the talking tomorrow, that by Thursday, because I don't think we got anything Thursday, right?
No.
I think Thursday I'm going to go try and talk to my fucking brother-in-law. Like, he wants to meet with me and talk with me about shit, so, yeah.
I did see a slight change to their website after that talk.
He said something about it, but he didn't mention it directly. But he said,
Not
like,
changing the meat of it, but adding some language on the landing page to soften the overall message of it.
well, whatever.
But it still has it right next to bestiality, so it's kind of...
I mean, he's not going to change that because it's in the Bible. It's listed as part of, like, sexual immorality, right? But, like, the way they're, like, sticking it up there says that their church believes that like, you're basically fuck dogs if you're gay. So come on in, y'all. It's like, even if they fucking believe that, it's like not welcoming. It's not like what Jesus would have led with. Like, that's what I want to talk to him about. It's like this queer shit. It's like, dude, I would love to come and watch my little nieces and nephews do their little church play, and, like, maybe come on Christmas and watch him preach or whatever the fuck, right? Like, I'm not a Christian, but I can't darken the doorstep of a place that compares people like me to fucking incestuous people and bestiality people, and it's just, I don't know. And it's just such old morality that, like, it's like God listing off all the ways you can be sexually immoral, but pedophilia is not on there because it's old morality. Because back then, pedophilia was like, well, that's how a dude got a wife a lot of the times.
I don't even think it was a word necessarily.
No.
Like, there's speculation that the prophet Paul meant pedophilia because there was a lot of man-boy love in ancient Rome.
Or Greece, too.
Yeah, Greek.
Yeah. I mean, Saul of Tarsus was in Greece. So, yeah, I mean, there's speculation about, like that's the thing, is, like, they put it on their website like it's concrete. But, like, there's 8 different translations for all those fucking words. Scholars disagree on whether or not fucking Paul was even calling that out by name, right? A lot of times they just, like, in a lot of the newer translations, they'll take words that Paul invented, basically, or maybe not invented, but, like, words that are, like, slang words from way back then that we don't know what he's talking about.
That no one else wrote professionally in their words.
Right, and so it's like there's some fucking word that he uses all the time, and people just, like, a lot of bigots in the church just assume he means gays, even though they can't find any fucking historical proof that he meant gays or who he meant. It might have just been like a gang that existed around then. He was decrying their immorality or whatever, but nobody knows. Nobody pretends to know. And that's what I'm going to go talk to Duder about. I don't want to get heated with the guy. And if it starts to go that way, I'll just leave, because I'd rather not have that happen. But, like, the hypocrisy of it just slaps me in the face, because I just want to know how somebody squares having that type of fucking shit on their website. But there's not a special section for fucking, like, coveting your neighbor's wife or being greedy and rich. Like, if there's a special part on your website for sexual morality, then why are you raising it above other sins? Why are you ignoring what Jesus had to say? Because, like, Jesus had not one word to say about homosexuality, and your church claims to preach Jesus. So why aren't you learning what Jesus? Why aren't you putting what Jesus had to say up on your website about being rich, about being a gossip, about being a fucking raising up idols to him? Like, all these people wearing gold crosses and the big cross in your church. Like, Jesus had a lot more to say about not doing that than he did about not being gay. And that's what I want to ask him. Like, I want to find out how he justifies putting a bigoted face on his church.
Well, the thing that always rubbed me the wrong way about it is about Christianity in general, but about individual churches too, is the pride that they are 100% right and they couldn't possibly be
Right,
wrong.
but every church is 100% right, and they're all different denominations, so it can't be true. So
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of hypocrites. It's like worldly men chasing worldly accolades and worldly fucking possessions, and Jesus preached against all of that and told them to walk in my footsteps, to give all of your fucking riches to the poor and follow me, and I shall take care of you.
Like you were talking about that Council of Nicaea, like there was all kinds of crazy different interpretations.
Yeah, it was basically like, among other things, where they decided that Jesus was a god and not a man.
Yeah.
Like, because there was like half of Christendom or more that just believed Jesus was another prophet.
Yeah, and that's how Muslims view Jesus
Right.
as a prophet.
Exactly. Jesus is a prophet in the Muslim faith. It's like all interconnected. And the Council of Nicaea is where they decided what Christians believe to be the ultimate truth that appeared in the Bible from the jump. And it's just not the truth.
And there's so many things about the Bible too that are so influenced by art. Like the Four Horsemen, people didn't really think of it as four separate people until someone made a wood carving of it.
Right.
Angels, until people started painting angels, the angels in the Bible look nothing like that.
Oh my God, the biblically accurate angels is like a meme now.
Yeah.
Because like people will actually take the description. It's like a wing with an eyeball on it and fucking 8 horns coming out of it.
Art massively bias people in the future.
Well, you remember my mom pulled me out of fucking religious daycare because the lady that ran it got mad because I asked her about the painting that they had of Jesus. And I was like, how do they know that's what Jesus looked like? And she said, they just do. And I said, well, they didn't have cameras. And she was like, you know what? You're being blasphemous. You don't question. That is your Lord there. These fucking cats. And then I told my mom that she had fucking put me in timeout for asking her a question about a picture. And she went down there and gave that lady a piece of her mind and pulled me out of that fucking school. And it's just like, so much of it is based on like presupposition and like obvious falsehood and just what they want. It's like cherry picking. Like it's so cherry picky to have your front fucking, like your landing page or your what we believe page be filled with a bunch of like sexual immorality shit. It's all like, here's what a marriage is. Here's homosexuality is bad. But there's nothing there about greed. There's nothing there about coveting. There's nothing there about fucking sloth or wrath or envy, right? None of the other fucking sins or groups of sins are called out explicitly except the sexual ones. And it's like, it seems like you're fucking excluding like 90% of people from feeling comfortable coming into your church. Who needs Jesus more than sinners? If that's what you believe I am, don't I need Jesus more than you do? So why do you keep me out of your church with your nastiness then? And I want to see what he fucking says to it. I don't expect to get any kind of good fucking answer, but that's what I want to fucking talk to him about.
Ultimately, this is you giving it the good old college try, and hopefully after all of this, they just stop bugging.
Well, my mom was not gonna. Like, that's the thing, is like, I was so disappointed that rather than her talk, she said, I want to talk to, so-and-so. I want to talk to your brother-in-law about this and find out what the pastor thinks. And I said, cool. And I thought she was going to have another talk with me about it after learning. Instead, she just passed the buck. She's like, oh, I talked to your brother-in-law and he would like to talk to you. And that's the last I've heard from her about it. And in her mind, it's over. She couldn't answer any of my questions. It took 6 hours to even get across my point to her. And I was looking forward to hearing what she learned from him. I didn't really want to talk to him. That was her idea. My idea was go talk to your pastor and then come back and answer some of these questions. I want to talk to her, right? It was her idea for me to go talk to my fucking brother-in-law about this, the pastor of the church, right? And but like I was hoping that she would learn something from him and then we could talk more. But instead she just used it as a pass the buck. No, I'm done. I did what I was supposed to do. Hallelujah. And it's like, well, not to me you didn't, but And I really don't suspect he's going to have any answers for me that I don't think are fucking, pretty fucking lame or bigoted. So, whatever. Jesus would shame him just like the Pharisees. I mean, I don't know what Jesus would do ultimately, but yeah, I mean, if you read the Bible, Jesus doesn't want you otherizing. He told you to be out amongst the least. The least shall be first, first shall be last. Be among the sinners. Be thou among the sinners, not apart from them. Pray quietly in your closet. Don't profess loudly with your mouth your fucking faith. Like, keep that to your chest and help people. By your fruits, they'll know you, not by your mouth. And it's like, I see a lot of mouth, but very few fruits in the church. And I wanted to talk to my mom about that because she's always trying to get me to come to shit. Always trying to get my wife to come to shit. And we've told her a million times we don't go to that shit. But now we're actually talking about why, and it was a big fight. And then she finally heard me out, and I thought we were going to talk more, but she just passed the buck. So, after this, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to pass the buck back to her, and I'm just going to tell her, like, we already talked about this. Unless you got some new info for me, I don't need to hear about you praying for me or my soul or anything. Thank you very much, but you can do that quietly. I don't need to hear that shit. I know I'm like maybe putting some of my frustration with my family out on Christendom, but I think it might be the other way around too. Maybe it's Christendom that I'm pissed off about, and I'm pissed off that it's in my family. I'm pissed off at the hypocrisy and the fucking, it just seems like it's worse than ever now too.
Well, like, because they're just one part of this massive whole.
Yeah. Just like that church is supposed to be about all love, and it's just spewing hate and chasing people away. The very people they want to come in there and get saved are the people they're chasing out. When Jesus would have been out among those people, he would never have hung a sign around his neck that said, if you're a queer, it's the same thing as fucking a dog. Now come talk to me. I love you. Like, they would never be that.
Well, there's so many churches that they'll like do an outreach, but they've never opened their doors to the people they say they want to help.
Yeah. I mean, look, I can't say that about their church. They do homeless outreach. It does come with fucking proselytizing too, though. They do, like, here's some food and here's a tract.
Their doors of like, you can sleep here?
No.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, they would never do that. They would never do that. Nobody wants those people around them. They like to go down to the gutter where they live, down to the dry riverbed, or down to the fucking bad neighborhood, and give them food and give them a Bible tract. But as far as like opening that big old giant building up at night for people to shelter in, fuck no, they would never do that. You know why? Because somebody might soil something in there. They might have to clean up after it. Oh, people might notice a smell in there because the people don't have access to showers. And those Christians that are supposed to care would all of a sudden care more about a lingering odor or a stain here and there in their church than they care about the poor. I just hope you haven't been outed to the rest of your family. What do you mean, outed? You mean that I'm bi? I told my mom she could tell him if she felt like she needed to, if it was part of the conversation, which it is. The reason why I'm fucking busted up about the church is I feel like that they're fucking bigoted against people like me and other people that I care about. Right? So I told her, like, you tell them whatever you feel like you got to tell them to get the point across. It's not my conversation. It was her idea that to pass the buck over to him. I didn't even want to talk to his ass about it. Because I know what he's going to say. He said it all on his fucking website. He made the website. I've read their website. I've read their statement of faith. I've read their what we believe. I've read their about our church. Like, I know he's the webmaster and the pastor. The big old fucking church. It's like, what's he going to tell me that's not right there? And if he's got something to convince me with his mouth, why did he put that up on his website? Instead of a bunch of hate. It just don't make much sense to me. And he offered to talk to me about it. I'm not going to try and be mean about it, but I am going to talk to him just like I'm talking to y'all. I foresee that he's probably just going to be like, well, I guess we're going to have to agree to disagree then. All right. So I don't think he's going to hang with it. I think he's going to have no answers. And when I don't accept the sophistry and I don't accept the cherry picking, he's just going to go, well, that's the Lord. That's the word. So, it'll be a waste of my fucking time. But at least I can tell my mom, so who would I talk to next? Because he said the same shit you did. I'm sorry things are like that. They're not really like that with my brother-in-law. Like, we're cool. We don't talk religion.
Maybe that's the insidious thing, though.
Right, that's it. I have been cucked in that relationship. I don't ever get to say what I think about their religion, but they can flaunt it in my face every time I'm around them. Right? If I showed up and they were like, can we pray? And I was like, yeah, me and Amelia are going to pray too. Thank you, Satan, for the fucking meat. Hail to the beast, 666, or what? We're not fucking Satanists, but if I were to do that, they would look at me like I'm a fucking nut. But I've got to sit there and listen to them dribble and drool.
If we did something that wasn't, like, quote-unquote offensive to the faith. Like, if we
Oh,
were lighting
holy
candles and had a little Buddha.
Yeah, oh, holy Vishnu, please bless this food that we're about to receive in your fucking 8-armed name, we pray, or whatever it was. They'd be totally offended at having to sit through it. They would talk to us about it all the time, how they wish we wouldn't do it. But I'm supposed to just sit there with my hands folded in my lap and my eyes wide open, waiting for them to pray their way through before I have a meal with my family. So it's lopsided as fuck, right? I'm respecting their fucking beliefs all the time by keeping my mouth shut, by not bringing my fucking politics into their house, by not bringing my opinions about their Bible into their house, and all I get in return from it is constant proselytizing from my mother, mostly. Constant fucking invites to shit that I've told them I can't go to because I'm not going to go to their church, right? And it's just like, man, what if I was doing that? Hey, I'm having a fucking science and reason and how to let go of God class that I'm teaching. You guys want to come? I really would love if you guys would come and listen to me talk for 90 minutes about how God is a concept that's ruining humanity and we need to move past it and embrace the fucking logic of science. Could you guys come to that for me? It really would mean a lot. Well, you're in my science journals. I'm writing science notes about you. I just wanted to let you know. It's like, that's what I would have to do in order to balance out this fucking relationship when it comes to religion. And so that's another thing I want to talk to them about. Is like, if we can't come to an agreement today, what can I do to impress upon you guys? Like, I'm not asking you to not be who you are. What can I do to impress upon everybody involved that I'm not interested in your fucking religion anymore? I don't want to hear about it. I want to be invited to shit. I really don't want to hear about it any more than you want to hear about the stuff I get up to that you wouldn't get up to, right? So how do we get balance as a family? Because I love you guys. I want to be around my nieces and nephews. I love my sister. I love my mother. And I don't want to be ostracized from my family, but I also don't want to have to put up with gobbledygook. Especially not unbalanced gobbledygook where I can't say what I think. But I got to listen to you talk about Jesus being good or God providing this or fucking, And it's constant. I'm not constantly going like, oh, thank Copernicus for figuring out the heavenly bodies and the motion of it so that we can have a fucking warning when there's weather, That's so fucking awesome that he did that. And thank goodness for Newton for finally putting together the relationship between mass and fucking gravity and explaining that law because, man, our understanding of that has availed us of so much knowledge. Hallelujah. All right, you guys done praying? I would like to thank all the scientists that have come and pulled us out of the dark ages of fantasy and mythology and gobbledygook just stuff and given us all this wonderful technology that keeps this house cool, that made this food so delicious, that makes us so healthy in comparison to people just a scant 50 or 100 years ago. You know, man, I'm thankful to all the men and women that sacrificed their whole lives to push the boundaries of human knowledge. Amen. They wouldn't let me do that fucking one time. Nor would I want to. Let's just eat.
It's a very different balance than what I grew up with because both my grandmothers ended up with a bunch of kids that believe the opposite of them, pretty much.
Yeah, but aren't they Catholics? Or one of them is, right?
Yeah, so one of my
That's
grandmas
easier.
is Catholic, and almost all the kids are my aunts and uncles and parent are atheists.
Yeah, I mean,
the other one, other grandma's staunch atheist, but almost all her kids are.
yeah, I mean,
Christian.
Catholics have they have a way easier time than evangelicals. Like just going, well, to each his own. Like lapsed Catholicism is way less looked down upon in the Catholic community, or at least the wider Catholic community. Maybe there are some like hardcore Catholics that look down on it, but
It's
evangelicals
more about
though,
the culture of it than the
yeah,
nitty gritty
yeah,
stuff.
it's about the neighborhood and the tradition and the family ties and like. And less about the fucking what you believe and what parts of it you agree with and what you don't.
Well, Catholics are a lot more prone to debate too.
Oh yeah.
Like they'll actually question their own words in their book.
Not only that, but like after being one of the most horrible institutions to persecute scientists, probably the most horrible institution to persecute scientists of all time, they're now like way more progressive than like the standard evangelical church. Like they accept the cosmological timeline. They know it's not 6,000 years old. They accept the model of gravity and evolution by natural selection. Like most of the Catholic Church, at least the wider Catholic Church, that's the standard fucking dogma of it. So it's like light years ahead of this fundamentalist Christian movement. And, you know, I don't know, man. Yeah, Catholicism is more cultural than spiritual. I mean, I think there's a lot of spirituality in Catholicism, but I think you're right. I think it's more like community oriented than spiritual, and I think evangelical Christianity is the opposite. I think it's spiritual first and then community oriented second.
Well, yeah, like Catholics have like all these little events. Like you gotta do your communion and you do your.
I mean, so do they, though. You know, my mom's out there fucking every time we want to go out there, she's fucking doing a thing out there.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's like life stages. Like at a certain age, you go do your first communion.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, they got very like a lot of ritual, but they do over there too. I got invited to every one of those kids, well, for a while until they stopped inviting me at least to that, to their confirmation, which is not something I ever did when I was young. I guess that's what evangelicals do. Is it's just like kid comes up and does like a public altar call.
Yeah.
They make them like get down on their knees and promise that their whole life they're going to believe in one thing. It's always a good way to set a kid up for a complex. Dad is an evangelical Christian. It feels almost impossible to have a real conversation. Well, that's the problem I have with it, because my family wants to talk to me about this shit. But they're really the only one that seems to be able to handle me talking about how I believe and what I think about what they believe is my father. And that's because
He's a baby.
He's a baby Christian, and I think he and I just have, we've got a different dynamic that doesn't preclude us disagreeing or agreeing to disagree on shit. Like, but my mom, dude, having that same type of conversation with her, we just fed on each other's fucking angst, and she got so angry. Started flinging barbs at me. I flinged barbs at her. And then at the end of it, we finally heard each other. She heard me out. And everything's hunky-dory now in her mind. But I've been sitting here like, well, is she going to fucking talk to me? So yeah, it's great that I can go talk to my brother-in-law about it. But it's like we had a whole fucking conversation where we agreed we wanted to figure out what was going on with this, and this. What do you think now, Mom? In her mind, she's done. There's a lot of that in Christianity. Pass the buck up the line. It's like, you've been a fucking Christian for how many years now, and you can't fucking sit down and do a Bible study with your son to show him why you believe this? Like, what kind of strength and faith do you really even have then? If you're not secure enough in your faith, after years of going to church every fucking day, to sit down with your son who's asking you questions about and crack a Bible and read to him what you know and reference it, what kind of Christian are you then? You even call yourself a Christian at that point? Like, what do you know that isn't being told to you? I don't fucking know. I don't mean to be mean about it, especially not to my family, but fuck, bro. Just it's just been on my mind a lot lately because I'm just so hard done by with it. I want to be past it with them, one way or the other. You know? I'm on my own fucking journey, and I would love it if Christianity didn't just like run contrary to everything it espouses in its book. Because I don't think I'd join it anyway. But it sure would be nice to have some Christians out there preaching some actual Jesus and living some Jesus. I don't think it would hurt the world. But I just don't see it. I'm looking for it everywhere, and all I see is Christians that are just trumpeting their fucking righteousness with their mouths. Oh, Jesus loves you. God is love. Jesus died for you, man. Do you love Jesus? Because he loves you. It's like, well, you know what? It's great, but shut up. Show me. Jesus is so great. Be so like him that I can't deny it. Be such a good person. Change my heart with your act, with your deeds, not with your mouth. I don't know. I tend to get on a fucking pulpit with this shit, and people are probably sick of hearing me bitch about it, but it's been on my mind a lot lately, bro. This fucking religion shit is just bubbling up again at this point in my life. It always does, bro. I feel like it rears its ugly fucking red baboon ass every fucking like 10 years of my life. I have to deal with something. Somebody else's religious crisis comes knocking on my doorstep. And like this time, it's not a crisis, but I'm on my own like journey a little bit. I'm exploring spirituality maybe a little bit. And I'm not trying to be a fucking Christian or a God believer even. I'm just trying to like explore my own like inner world and like maybe come up with a belief structure or adopt a belief structure that feeds me personally. And it's like it just like I keep getting dragged away from that by looking at religious people. And I'm like, do I really want to, even if it's just a privately practiced thing that I do just for me, do I really want to join that group? Buddhism is like candidly one of the things I'm looking at. Zen Buddhism, I think, really appeals to me on a fundamental level. It's not dogmatic. It's about personal growth and personal insight and meditation and focusing your mind on the proper things and having the proper fucking way of looking at things and understanding your mortality. All of these things I feel I could have, the ideas at least, have brought me peace. I've gained peace from those ideas, but bringing them together in a ritual practice, where I ritualize a little bit of my meditation time and I make time for it even when I'm not feeling like doing it. Because like right now, I do meditation when I feel like it. I don't do it as a standard everyday practice at the same time like I maybe should. I don't know. Anything of pantheism? I mean, whatever, man. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But I know a couple of Buddhists, and they're pretty insightful. I kind of like it. Not sure. Yeah, I mean, I've been studying like Zen Buddhism for pretty intensely for 5 or 6 years. I just am like at a point now where I don't feel like I can call myself a Buddhist. Not that I would want to call like I might not even tell you guys if I start practicing, but I was like, I'll call myself a Buddhist to myself without starting to actually hold myself to a standard of practice. Like I've taken a lot from the philosophy. I listen to koans all the time, or koans, I believe is how you say it. I meditate. I have, like learned the half lotus pose. I can't really sit full lotus. I've learned to like really get deep into the meditation and enjoy that, but I've never standardized the practice and I've never ritualized it. I've never, sat and contemplated the Buddha. I've never gotten myself a little Buddha statue to contemplate the Buddha. I've never augmented my fucking meditation, or very rarely have I augmented my meditation with like incense, right? These are all fucking things that like Zen Buddhists will do, right? And I've never done it because I've always been afraid of dipping my toe into the ritual. But there's a part of my heart and a part of my brain that is crying for it right now, some kind of structure that doesn't mean anything in the outer world, but it means something in my inner world. Some kind of rule book that I can impose upon myself that gives me an owner's manual for Paul and standardizes and ritualizes a little bit of my life. I want that, right? I feel adrift at this point in my life, and I feel like I want that for the focus. But it's so hard because I feel like I just keep getting chased out. I chased away from the idea of standardizing a practice or ritualizing a practice because my family's so crazy religious. And I was like, man, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that to other people. I don't want to be a guy that's looking down my nose at other people because they're not practicing the way I practice. I want to get caught in sectarianism, which exists in fucking Buddhism like it does every religion. There's some Buddhists that are at war with other Buddhists, and there's fucking different types of Buddhism that are fucking contradictory, and they argue all. I don't want to be in the argument, man. And I don't want other people to look at me as a target for their arguments and shit. I don't want to bring that. Do I want to invite that into my life? Like, that's the struggle right now for me. Is like, do I want this? And my heart says yes, and my head says, I don't know, bro. You might want to think about it. My heart says, fuck yeah, you want this. Get yourself a fucking focus. Get yourself a meditation focus. Start ritualizing it. I don't really like the statues of like the Theravada Buddha, but I do love statues of Buddhai. Get yourself a fucking medium-sized little golden statue of Buddhai, dude. You love that dude. You don't have to understand everything about Buddhai's life to fucking sit in front of him and use him as a contemplation for your meditation. Fucking light some incense and get quiet and get dark and get inner. Like, I know how to do all that shit. I just want that ritual. I want that standardization. I want to believe something inwardly, not outwardly. It's just the same thing with my fucking dietary restrictions, right? Like, it fits right into Buddhism, number one. And number two, like, I'm not pushing that shit on anybody. I don't judge you because you had a hamburger or a fucking pizza for dinner. I don't give a fuck, bro. I do it for me, and that's the same with this. But I know that it's going to change my perspective. I know it's going to come out of me because I'm honest. Like, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to fucking proselytize it without wanting to. And do I want to invite that scrutiny? Because that puts me in a whole different class of people then. I'm not, like, as much as I would love to say it's going to be a private practice, I'm not going to be able to hide it from the wider public that I'm Buddhist, that I'm practicing it. Like, it's only a matter of time before that becomes a topic of discussion, and I hate dancing around shit. I'm not ashamed of it. But do I want to invite the scrutiny, the argument? Do I want to have another fucking clash in my life? Is it worth that? I can't really, like, I could log off and just not do this, but this is my job, I don't want to quit my job. I like my job. I also want to be a Buddhist. I also want to be a Zen Buddhist. I want to practice. I want to have ritual. I want to have meaning in my life that's inward, that doesn't really ascribe anything to anything else. But it really does, I admit. It will open me up to scrutiny with people. If I stop saying I'm an atheist, if I start saying I'm a Zen Buddhist, if I start using some of the terminology I know more freely and more openly, like, people are going to fucking judge me for that. And do I want to walk into that fucking hornet's nest of public speculation and make my life more complex for a ritual? I do have my own sense of a spiritual experience when it comes to philosophies and scientific theories that resonate with me. Sure, I mean, everybody kind of probably does have a little bit of that in them, a little bit of that hoodoo, but I want a little more. Like, I want a standard practice ritual, and I don't want it to be something I made up either. Like, I've thought about that. Like, just take bits and pieces and do what you want. that is like there's something meaningful about following a practice, and maybe not following it to a T, but following in the footsteps of like millions of people that have already died. This is like an old religion. It's a standardized practice. Something about that calls to me and says, like, wisdom from back then is still wisdom now. The practice has value in people's lives. Clearly, so many people do it. I think it would be so beautiful to be able to be reverent in the way that I see some Asian cultures being reverent in Buddhism, like to revere a shrine, to take a quiet moment to yourself just to genuflect at a shrine, you know what I mean? And not really like concerning yourself with overall the meaning of it, but it more just like a show of reverence to a moment. All of that shit is just so fucking like, it really resonates with me. That's how I feel about the use of tarot. I mean, I'm a tarot reader and a palm reader. I mean, I learned that as a party trick in high school. I really enjoy them, but I don't ascribe any religious meaning to them or ritualistic meaning. It's a huckster's joke. It really is, man. Tarot is just a fucking party game, and if you get really good at it, you can change people's lives with that shit, bro. But all that proves is that people need somebody to understand them more than anything in the fucking world. It doesn't prove that tarot's right. It just proves that if you use a little bit of intellect, a little bit of education to learn how to read people, understand some general facts that are true about people of different kinds and backgrounds, you can blow people's fucking heads off their shoulders, right? With what they feel like is magical insight that came from the cards. And really all you're doing is reading their response to the last thing you said, following them down their fucking reactions to get to something profound. So on your end, it's a game. On their end, it's spiritual. I can't look at it as spiritual because I'm the magician. I can't believe in the Wizard of Oz because when I'm doing tarot, I'm the guy behind the curtain pulling all the fucking levers and manipulating you. But I understand. If you ascribe some significance to the actual magical theory crafting that goes into like tarot when it comes to true believers or spiritualists, I can understand that. I don't judge you for that. But I don't use it for fortune telling. Oh yeah, well, whatever. I wasn't trying to judge you. I was just saying I know tarot. I've been practicing tarot since I was about 15 or 16 or 17, I think is when I picked it up. Somewhere there in the late high school years. I've read up on some Buddhist concepts. I certainly don't see it as a religion to anywhere close to the same degree. Well, it isn't. I mean, it's an atheistic religion. It doesn't revere anything other than this, like your own journey, like your own connection, and you're striving to be a Buddha, right? That's really the only thing it reveres is the example of the Buddha, right? But the Buddha isn't a god in Buddhism. The Buddha is a man that existed with a philosophy, and you're striving to be a Buddha. And according to Zen Buddhist philosophy, among other things, anyone can be a Buddha. The Noble Eightfold Path, right? Anyone can be a Buddha as long as they're willing to follow in those footsteps, as long as they're willing to follow the philosophy personally. So it's not about like proselytizing to people. It's not about going to church. It's not about like revering a shrine, although you can do all those things as a Buddhist. It's about what you learn about yourself and how close you can strive to what, Buddhism calls Zen. Like that kind of feeling of oneness and connectiveness without any psychedelics, just knowing that in your moment, and the depersonalization of that as you become one with everything. Like, I want that oneness without having to fucking take drugs to get it. I felt it. I mean, I felt it to the point where I just like had tears rolling down my face multiple times. But every one of those times I was on some sort of fucking substance. LSD, mushrooms, fucking research chemical one time that was fucking, you know, I think it was LSD based, but it was something else. Do you think that we have that oneness as small children and lose it? No. As small children, we have an openness. And this is actually in Buddhism as well. Small children have an openness, and this is just the truth, right? As small children, we are sponges, man. We are sponges. That it's not a spiritual oneness. It's like we are just absorbing this planet as children. Like absorbing our parents, absorbing language, absorbing color, absorbing the wind and the mind and the body and the soul and all of that stuff. We're learning about it slowly by doing it, by example, right? Yeah. Children are open. They're an empty vessel that's wide open at the top, and they're just taking anything that's thrown in it. And the fucked up thing is, if you throw a bunch of garbage into a child, if you throw a bunch of garbage into a child's vessel, then that child is garbage. Not garbage, but that child grows up to be horribly, horribly stunted, lacking any kind of like inner life, lacking any kind of interests outside of a very narrow spectrum. You know, we're trying to make sense of the world as kids, and then as adults, we take what we've absorbed and try to put it into practice. Right? In a general sense, that's the case. But keep in mind that some people that easy chain is broken, right? Because they didn't see the right thing when they were children. They saw their father beat their mother, or their mother beat their father. They saw alcoholism. They saw drug abuse. They saw privation. They saw their family just hating on one another. They heard fighting all the time, right? They suffered physical or sexual abuse at the hands of a family member or a close friend, right? All of these things are like fucking like slamming the brakes on somebody's life and changing the direction of it and changing the course of it forever. And these things are so common too. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking how common people are diverted from the track that they would normally take if they were just allowed to thrive and flourish without the fucking, just irresponsibility of people, their parents and their friend and their family, or the fucking callousness of people and their parents and family, or whatever it is. If you think about it, like if a child was just given a basically nurturing environment, not even perfect, just basically nurturing, parents that loved it and tried to feed it with knowledge and wisdom and truth, right? And that child is going to be so good at the end of that. But if you feed your child with drug abuse between your partner and you, and fighting and instability and horrible, just like trying to turn the child against each other, and divorce and collapse and privation and hunger, and like if that's what you're filling your child with, what kind of person do you think you're cranking out? You're kicking into the world a fucking person that's going to hurt people. And the cycle continues, right? They go out, somebody meets them and sees something in them that they like, and there really is something in everybody that's worth liking, but they don't know how broken the person is, and they get together, and then a baby happens, and then, once that stress settles in, that's when the broken comes out. Now all of a sudden, you got another baby watching a dad beat his mother, watching a dad drink himself to sleep every night, watching his mother freak out and scream every time she fucking doesn't get her way, whatever it is, right? And then that kid grows up and they don't know any better. You know what I mean? It's like, when you start thinking about it, it almost like is overwhelming to me. It's heartbreaking. Absolutely fucking heartbreaking. That cycle that just goes from parent to child, parent to child, parent to child, parent to child, parent to child. How far back does it go in some families? Abuse, neglect, alcoholism, anger, divorce, privation, all of these fucking things, right? I bet in some families it goes back fucking 50 generations, man. I bet it's pre-civilizational in some families. It's just been nothing but angst for people, and endless chain, and that breaks my heart. And it breaks my heart for myself, because you know what? I'm not trying to fucking cry about it, but that's me. My life is one of fucking cyclical abuse. Okay, my parents were both horribly abused by their parents. And not, not like I got it as bad as they did, because I don't believe I did, but my parents both willingly and unwillingly, wittingly and unwittingly abused the fuck out of me. And the cycle stops with me in terms of I'm not ever having kids, but fuck, I'm just as broken as somebody that grew up in that cycle. My heart's just as broken, and maybe that's why my heart goes out to knowing there's so much of it. You know what I mean? There's so many people out there living that kind of quiet desperation, because I'm one of them. I'm broken as fuck, man. I've been trying to put the pieces of myself back together my whole life. I've been trying to learn how to be a good man, how to be a fucking husband, how to be a friend, how to be a fucking business person. Like, all of that shit is still up in the air for me at 44. I feel like I'm way better now, and I know myself better now, but I still feel like I got a fucking 10,000 miles to go and about fucking 10 miles in the tank, right? I don't fucking know. But not to tie it all back, this religious practice shit. I know there's a lot of people fucking rolling their eyes. I'm a long time self-avowed atheist. I don't think that's going to change. I'm not looking to believe in a God. I'm going to remain an atheist if I'm a Buddhist. But I think there's a lot of people that are going to roll their eyes at the inevitable fucking religious practice talk that comes out of me, at the inevitable fucking reference to my fucking Zen that comes out of me, the inevitable reference to the pursuit of being a Buddha that comes out of me, right? Like, if I start talking about these things that I know about and the way I feel about them, right, I think I'm going to face a lot of fucking backlash from my fan base. And, like, whatever, that doesn't matter, but it does. It's like inviting discord into my life. It's like inviting, and look, one of the reasons why I want to try and practice, well, not even try, one of the reasons why I want to adopt and keep Zen Buddhism for myself is because I want to be able to let those things pass over and through me, like water in a stream, Like, I don't want your nastiness and your opinions it's not that I don't want to hear it, it's that I don't want that shit to impinge on me as much as it does. It's not like it hurts my feelings, it makes me angry, it makes me want to correct people, it makes me want to argue, and that's not always the case. I want to be able to feel free of it. So, like, I know I've been fucking filling you guys with a bunch of woo-woo lately. At least I know I'm not. Fuck that. I'm cutting myself short. I'm not. But I know there's a lot of people that are like, Paul's ego talking this way about, like, talking about Jesus all the time, talking about religion more, talking about maybe, adopting a religious practice himself. What the fuck is going on? And I'm sorry for that, man, but it's a roller coaster. And I'd rather be honest with you guys. It's not about bragging about it. It's just that I know, because of how much I talk to you guys, it's going to slip out eventually. I've already talked a little bit how I've started to play around with it a little bit. I'm starting to think seriously. I mean, this talk I'm going to have maybe on Thursday with my brother-in-law is very important. It's part of that step. I totally get it, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I totally get it, to be honest with you. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to be open-minded. I personally appreciate the honesty, yeah. Imagine reasonable people will hear you explain yourself, and those that won't don't matter, right? Well, I want neither of it to matter. Like, I don't even want the positivity. It's one of the things I want to work on. Is like, I get caught in these positive and negative feedback loops based on what people that watch me think about me. And I'm not saying I worry about it or pull my hair about it every day, but it's one of the things about myself that I would like to work. I would like your compliments and your derision to pass through me like water and not deter me from my path. to leave behind anything of worth inside of me, and then the rest of it that's garbage to pass through me like water. I don't want to be chuffed up. I've always hated it, man. I've always hated patting myself on the back, feeling proud of myself, having that cycle of, oh, I'm down, oh, I'm up, oh, somebody said something nice, somebody said something mean. I want to be free of that fucking impingement that people can make on my fucking psyche. And Zen Buddhism is about that. It's about learning to fucking put yourself centered, you know? And I need that, I think. There's a part of me that needs that to maybe be healthier doing what I do. I'm an atheist too. It's refreshing to hear someone talk about the struggle of coming from indoctrination and finding their path. I'm glad I stumbled on this tonight. Cool, man. Yeah. I've always struggled with letting others' opinions. Yeah, I want to be free of that, but I'm not yet. You know, I'd be a liar if I told you I am, and I really don't look forward to the struggle, because now that I'm even talking about it, there are people out there that are going like, oh, Paul's going to try and be a Buddhist. We can troll him about that, and he said it bothers him. It's like the fact that those vampiric people might make a dent on me someday just fucking goes all over me. Because I'm not like I said, I'm not a dude that's like obsessed about every fucking bad thing that's said about me. But sometimes I'll just be in the middle of a really fucking good thought, feeling good about myself, and I'll look down and it'll be like fat, hairy, stupid, whatever the fuck, right? And that person just gets banned, but I'm just like, fuck, man, it leaves a little dent in my armor, and I'm like, god damn it. Like, I want that type of bullshit to just pass right through me. I don't want to notice it. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't mean to be mean about it. I don't mean to say don't compliment me, but like, I want compliments to be the same. I want compliments to be the same. I don't want to have my mental health and my mental strength be dependent on what other people say about me anymore. I don't want to need the praise, and I don't want to care about the derision. I want to let it all pass right by me. And that's attainable. There are many people that do it. It's not just Zen Buddhism that's a path to that, you know, but that's one of the things I'm looking for, right? It's one of the pieces of personal growth that I think I would really benefit from. A sense of inner peace and a sense of meaning outside of myself that, you know, I can latch onto at times like that and carry me through shit. Remind me what's important to me and my family, you know, because I can get like really fucking caught up. Isn't it just a matter of ego, so you can't stop it? Absolutely not. Well, that's Zen Buddhism, is about decoupling yourself from your ego, or being able to do that at will. It's about being able to have an overview on your own psyche, right? To not be beholden to your instincts and your emotions so much, but to master those things in furtherance of your own fucking central peace. Like, that's what Buddhism is. It's about finding peace and contentment in yourself, no matter where you are or what you're going through. It's about persevering through suffering. You know, Buddhism ascribes that life itself is suffering, right? And that you can either be at war with that suffering and lose, or you can learn to accept that suffering and appreciate parts of it, right? It's not about like lionizing suffering like Christianity does. It admits that suffering is torture. It admits that all beings suffer. But Zen Buddhism is about like pulling things, you know, into yourself and contextualizing and understanding that suffering and maybe finding a way to pass through it. Where's my wig from? Dude, like, if you're bald, people will fuck with you all day. Look at this bald guy, cue ball. If you've old and you've got a full head of hair, people will say you got a wig, bro. See what I mean? Like little shit like that. It didn't bother me, but the fact that I even felt the need to note that, like I wanted, what a waste of time, you know? But here's a troll, you know, can't call this guy bald, so let's say he's got a fucking wig on. And like, I just want to go like, no, no, I don't have a wig. Look at my hairline, you know, like, and it's like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, meditation is a practice within Zen Buddhism. It's not about meditating. It's about being able to walk through life with that fucking power inside of you and that centered peace, you know? But I'm not going to talk about this shit extensively, and certainly not my own practice until it's established. I'm working on that, man. I'm probably a couple months away from really feeling like comfortable. I really think I may need to move because I don't know if I can find a place here where I'd want to be long enough to meditate and have a practice, right? And so I'm thinking after I move, I'm setting up myself a little quiet place, a little nook, a little shrine, if you will, and I will fucking keep it. I'll keep the shrine. It's a philosophy then. Yeah, it's a philosophy and it's an applied philosophy. So, well, I mean, not always applied, but you get the drift, right? There are different types of Buddhism, the Theravada Buddhism, and you know, various flavors of it, like any other religion. I tend to be attracted to Zen Buddhism, which is a Chinese tradition. Not that that matters, you know. I spent 4 years in intensive talk therapy. I don't go to therapy now for various reasons, but yeah, I did a lot of it and it helped me a lot. Yeah, it helped me a whole lot. Oh, the lawn equipment and the heat and the smoke. I'm going to a place that's so beautiful and it's going to help me find that Zen. When I was there, I felt it. You know, I felt it. I really did. And I'll feel it again. Look, something I got from an acid trip that you can't feel the same way twice. Every moment is a unique feeling. Yeah, I mean that's you know, there's a little bit of Zen in that, right? Like let a moment like you. It's like when you're learning to meditate, right? One of the things people say is like, oh, I can't meditate. I close my eyes and I sit, and my mind is full of things, right? And it reminds me of the koan where this like teacher, right? He agrees to meet with this student who's a critic of Buddhism, right? And this Buddhist teacher agrees to meet with him, and they sit down, across across from one another, and the teacher starts to pour tea into the man's cup, and the man starts to talk to him about all the things he believes that Buddhism has wrong, and the teacher keeps pouring, and the cup keeps filling, and pretty soon the cup is overflowing, and the student or the person that came to talk to the teacher notices, and then eventually says something. He says, you know, the cup is full. No more tea will fit in. And then the teacher looks at him and he says, like this cup, you are full of your own thoughts and opinions. How can I teach you Zen if you don't first empty your cup? Now, to a lot of people, they go like, what the fuck does that mean, right? But to me, that's fucking like profound. Empty your cup. That means let go of your presuppositions. Let go of all of your bias. Let go of all of your thoughts. Let those thoughts happen, right? When you're learning to meditate, somebody that's good at it will tell you you're supposed to have those thoughts. I have those thoughts. Like even when I meditate now, those thoughts come and go. I just learn not to let them impinge. When they come, I let them happen and they pass. And if another one follows, I let it happen. And eventually I reach meditation. That's the point, right? You get better at it. You can clear your mind better. One of the things that helped me, and this is a very huge part of mindfulness meditation, is focusing on your biological processes, your breathing, is that the breathing is the thing that I focus on, right? So my head is full of my thoughts. The head is full of my opinions. They come. I don't shoo them away. I don't try and chase them away or bar the door against them. I let them come. I let them stay for as long as they need to, and then I let them leave. And when the next one comes, I let it stay as long as it needs to, and I let it leave. And all the time, I'm focusing more on my breath than the thoughts anyway. I'll notice that at some point. My breath is more important than my thoughts. My breath is the core of my thoughts. Without my breath, there would be no thoughts. Suddenly, my thoughts are on my breath. Once my thoughts are on my breath, it's a simple act to let go of even those thoughts. And then I just am. And there's peace, right? Not endless peace, but peace that lingers even after you're done, right? A little moment of your day that's quiet and inward. And it isn't about Netflix, and it isn't about arguing, and it isn't about your relationship, and it isn't even about your thoughts or your fears or your anxieties. It's about stillness. I mean, that's all the fucking sales pitch I needed. And there's no like amount of time you have to do it. There's no like rule book about. I mean, some people probably have made them, but the way I understand meditation, there's no rules. Sometimes I'll sit down and meditate for like 3, 4, 5 minutes just to center myself. Yeah, I meditate high. Of course I do. Sometimes I'll meditate for fucking 15 minutes. Sometimes I'll lay on my back with my eyes closed and meditate for an hour while listening to koans. It depends on what I need. You don't have to sit up to meditate. You can lay down, you can stand, you can do it in the middle of a fucking car ride as long as you're not driving. Or if you're like me and you've got the self-driver, turn on the self-driving, let it go full HD mapped road, and then take a little second and fucking center yourself. What's wrong with that shit, bro? Nothing. Must be a lot easier for some nameless bald guy in Asia to attain this versus a guy that does a job like you have, just saying. I don't think that's true at all. I don't know anything about a Buddhist monk. You don't know what he came from. See, that's the thing, is when a Buddhist monk like actually joins a monastery and decides to become a monk, they shed their life, they shed their names. They leave their families behind. Not forever, like they might go visit their families, but they leave their lives behind. They become dead to themselves, right? They dedicate their lives to ritual and practice and routine and inward looking at trying to attain Buddhahood, right? So you don't know what that person was, and it doesn't matter what that person was before they put on the robe. Like once they decide they're going to be a monk, their life is over and their new life begins. And their life now is about Buddhahood. It's about the inner life, the inner walk. It's about ritual. It's about consequence. Walking meditation is a total thing. You're kind of half conscious of your movement. It's beautiful, like drifting through a dream. Right? Meditation is like a widely practiced thing. And it's not something, like I do it, when I stood up over there and I did my stretches. That's meditative to me. My mind clears when I'm doing that. I focus on my breath, my center. You ask me, I think more people need to do that. Maybe so. I enjoy pot. Used to smoke. Yeah, thanks. Let's talk about pot. Most meditative thing to me is noodling on my viola. Cool. Or another instrument. Monks and nuns should just shack up already. Sure, why not? Get out of here, old man. Okay, I will. Have a good night, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.